Welcome to the SOB radio show, where we have fun, interesting guests, and hot topics. Each week, we offer insights into music, fashion, health, fitness, and humor. Do you have the perfect guest for us to interview? I want to know. Drop me a line on our Facebook page at Spunky Old Broad 1 or reach out to me on our website at spunkyoldbroad.com. And now, back to the show. Hi, folks. I'm back with Dorina Lanza, and as I told you before, she is a former rocket scientist who found her way into business coaching, and she's been talking to us about the archetypes that we all are and how we change and morph into various different architects as we age and grow and experience things. So you said that there are 13 steps that you take that will get you to go from a generalist to a trusted advisor and a celebrity authority. So why don't you give us a few of those at this point?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the first is creating your persona, how you actually show up in the world. Like, what do you wear? How do you sound? How does your website look? All the things people see about you. You know, what do you do? What kind of language you use? And in order to do that, I've got a couple of other tools I wanted to mention quickly, and then we'll get back to a few of the other 13 steps, that some of the key ones. In addition to this archetype stuff, I also go into finding people's mind types, okay? And there are 7 mind types, and a mind type does not change when, in this journey through, this iteration of life on Earth. And it's essentially an operating system which gets installed when you're a little kid. Now, you mentioned that I seem to excel at everything I do. Well, that's because my main mind type is master. And as a master, you go deep in anything that you're interested in. If you don't know about something, it's because you don't care. You never bothered to look at it, right?
Right, exactly.
And I looked back and I realized how I became a master. When I was a little kid and I wanted to put in my 2 cents worth, I was told to shut up. You don't have anything valuable to contribute, right? We don't want to hear from you. So that's how I evolved, and other people evolve into a caregiver, a caretaker, or a connector mind type, a giver mind type, a perfectionist mind type. There are 7 of them. And once you know your mind type, guess what? You know what your mind type keywords are, what words you respond to. You can back into your belief statements. And guess what? When you talk to people in terms of your belief system, belief statements, what you believe about the world, your ideal clients will sit there and go, oh my God, this is my person. I have to work with this person. Because what happens is, and I teach about neuroscience and getting past the brain's bouncer, which is the reptilian brain, which is only interested in, do I eat it, do I mate with it, or do I run away? Those are the 3 decisions, right? So once you get by that, and we don't have time in this interview to go into all that stuff, once you get by that, you get into the limbic system, which is where the emotions live, and this is where decisions are made. So if you can communicate to the emotions in the limbic system, you'll have people eating out of your hand. The mistake most people make is they communicate neocortex to neocortex, and their message just bounces right off the other person. But we don't have time to get into all that. But with the mind types, you can get into the I believe statements. And when I sit here and say, I believe you were born to soar above the crowd. I believe that in going deep to find the real you. I believe that you can attract your ideal clients easily and effortlessly. The people that believe the same thing are going to go, oh my God, I got to work with Dorina. And the people that are not meant to be my clients will run screaming in the opposite direction, saying she's crazy, right? Which is
Well,
what we
yeah,
want.
I guess that's why, as the SOB, the spunky old broad, people are attracted to me or not. And
Exactly.
when I was going out in the world, I dressed like the spunky old broad. I mean, everybody said, "Oh my God, your jackets, they're wonderful. They're so different. They're so unusual." Well, I was known for my jackets.
Yep.
So what you're saying is true. Now, I'm not sure about mind types, but I certainly fit the spunky old broad persona, and people either love it or they hate it.
Well,
So,
the rebel is a mind type too. So,
yeah, oh, okay. So, what's another one of those 13 steps?
well, you also need to know what your wealth style is. Okay. Some people are suited to be pontificating on stage. I'm one of those, a star profile. Other people are suited to be in the back room creating beautiful systems that work very, very smoothly. And when you take a systems person and stick them on stage, they melt down. So you need to know what your best it goes beyond communication style, but your best style of making money, so that you design your business to support that style, and then team up with people that have complementary styles that you might need. So for instance, I'm a star wealth style. I need a deal maker because I'm not good at deal making. I'm good at inspiring people from the stage. So you need to go through and know that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I've always known that my weakness was in technology, and so
Yeah.
I've always when I had all my schools and everything, my assistant, and she worked for me for 40 years in my various endeavors. She was analytical and she was organized and she did things, you know, step by step by step, whereas I always said, well, let's just do this. And absolutely true. And to this day, my best partner would be someone who has those technology capabilities. And I have somebody now who is doing that, and he said to me, I can't write copy. You can write copy. I can't. He said, when the messaging comes, I don't know what to say. He can tell you how to solve a technical problem in 10 seconds or less. But when it comes to the message, that's a whole different story. So you're right on. You're absolutely right on. So what's number 3?
Okay. You want to develop a vision of your marketplace. And what I mean by that is you want to have a clear take on your industry, where it's going, what's important, and eventually position yourself to shape where the industry is going, as you get past authority and celebrity authority. Because you'll find that most people that are in the generalist category, for instance, have no vision. They're just kind of there, like, just kind of like, yep, I'm a life coach. What do you think of the market? Oh, what do you mean by market, right? They have no vision. But so whatever industry you're in, figure it out, develop an opinion about it, and speak it. And you're going to alienate some people, and other people are going to love you. That's, again, going to attract the right people to you.
So where does leadership fall into all of this?
Well, leadership begins when you begin to take responsibility for participating in your industry and helping and shaping the lives of people, shaping the industry, and people will begin to follow you. Okay, once you sort yourself up, and what you're doing is you're really becoming the person that you need to be in order to attract the right people. Once you're at that point, you become a natural leader. You're going to find people that want to become like you. Okay. And if you Don't develop you will develop your leadership skill, and you'll know how to do it because you'll know what your leadership style is, and people will begin to follow you. It's all a process. And before we jump ahead, a very important component of these 13 steps is your story, your creation myth, if you will, how you got started, the disasters. And there are always many disasters, as you know, that you have grown from. I mean, my story is the story of the ugly duckling, basically. Not because I was ugly necessarily, but because I kept getting the crap pounded out of me for one reason or another, because people didn't like me. I didn't fit in the way they thought I should fit in, and boy, they let me know it. And I thought there was something wrong with me, and as it turns out, they were the ducks and I was the swan. So there you go.
Well, that is so true. But what I'm curious about, everybody now is talking about the new normal. And I don't know if there will ever be a new normal, because I think that what we're going through now, although people's memories are very short term, as we've learned, um, it's not going back to the way it was, and it may not ever be what it used to be. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to go back to the jobs that they had, because those jobs won't be there anymore. Also, they'll have to have new skills. I think with the advent of artificial intelligence and robotics and all the rest of it, new industries will form, old industries will go away. So what is your opinion on where we're heading in the future?
Well, I don't know. When I hear things like everybody's screaming about this new normal, I kind of roll my eyes and I say, "Oh, come on, people, just deal with it. This is not hard, okay? Just figure it out." Okay, so we got to get online. I think that a lot of people have come up with some really cool stuff now that they wouldn't have thought of before, because they're doing stuff online. For instance, I was on the board of a big humane society up in New Hampshire where I used to live, and I still get their emails. I'm in Florida now, so I had to leave. But they did a virtual dinner and auction. I mean, we used to go to a hotel and do this big gala and so on and so forth, and everybody made a beautiful dinner and sat there in front of Zoom and did the auction, and we raised as much money as we always did. So stuff is going to keep changing. New opportunities are going to arise, and the people that cry and say, "Oh, it's a new normal, we don't know what to do, we got to change, oh my God," are going to be sitting there left in the dust. They're going to be the Luddites. They're going to be the buggy whip manufacturers. And those people that just step up and deal with it and don't worry about it and are excited about the opportunity are the ones that are going to rise up. So I think this is a huge opportunity right now.
Well, it absolutely is. As a matter of fact, we've started and we haven't launched it yet, but we're getting it all ready, and it should launch within the next, I would say, 15 days. We've created an online store of SOB merchandise. And, I want all these women to be walking around with SOB on their shirts and on their sweatpants and so forth and so on. And so we have a bunch of different things in there. And that's going to get the brand out even more. And we would never have done that 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. So there's opportunities out there. And me, who used to get on a plane 3-4 times a month because of speaking and various things that I did, I've been housebound for 15 weeks now, and I'm fine, mainly because I've got 2 cats. So they keep me occupied and busy. If I was without them, I would probably be not so happy. But I was laughing. There was a cartoon that said, dogs are thrilled, that you're home, and cats are saying, "Why aren't you leaving?" But my cats love having me here, and they're always in my lap. So I'm lucky. But I agree with you, Dorina. I think that there are people who are waiting and waiting and waiting for things to go back the way they were, and they aren't going to go back the way they were. So I know you teach people not only the business things, but you also do inner work. So what do you do there?
Well, this is going to sound strange to people that have heard that I'm a mathematician and I do scientifically based assessments and, you know, all this stuff. But I believe that we are actually beings of light. I believe that there are an infinite number of dimensions. Well, that's a math thing. N goes to infinity, therefore, there must be an infinite number of dimensions. And my physicist friends will argue with me, telling me there are only 9. But anyway, I believe that we're here in 3 dimensions, and we do not see 99.99999% of reality in our, conscious, in the head, um, usual way of being. So I work with people with visualizations and other mechanisms to get them to connect with their inner being that actually knows all the answers that you need. You don't need to run around asking 100 people what they think you should do because they don't know. You know, and you can get in touch with that. And after we go through all this, intellectual stuff, the archetypes, the mind types, the wealth style, loves and talents, blah, 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 all that stuff. Once you have all that, you can connect into your inner being, which will help you articulate, figure out which pieces you want to articulate into the world to wind up doing the work that will be most satisfying to you, that you were meant to do when you came here. So,
Wow.
full
So,
spectrum here.
so I know you say you consider yourself, I love this, a woman of a certain age. I love that. So what's the wisdom you'd like to pass on to people?
Well, I think it is really an extension of what I was just talking about a couple of seconds ago, that you are not here to just be here and make money and be a jerk like a lot of people, or whatever. You're here for a bigger reason, and it's striking to me how much of people of my parents' generation have not figured this out. They're still very much in their head, and you did this to me X number of years ago, and you were wrong, and those types of arguments.
Yeah, I am absolutely amazed, Dorina, how many people hang on to that past. I think I was giving a speech to a group of women as a doctor gave a customer appreciation day, and I was the speaker. And one woman was telling me about all these things about her mom and blah 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 blah, and this is the way, and this is what she thought, and this is what she made me do, and blah blah blah. And I said to her, "Is your mom still living?" And she said, "No." And I said, "When did she pass away?" She said, 30 years ago. I said, "You mean you have been living that life when she hasn't been here for 30 years, when you could have created a whole new persona of you uh, if you wanted to? Why is she still controlling your life?" And she just didn't have an answer for me. And my sister, who's a psychotherapist, and was there with me because she was in the area, and she said, "Whenever you speak in an area where I can get to it in 2 hours, I'll come." She said, "Oh, I just wanted to jump up and tell her so many things," but she said, "You told her in everyday terms." I would have been very clinical about it, but she said, and to me, I think that's my greatest blessings, that I don't have these hang-ups that people hang on to for so many years, that really stifles them, and they're like crutches, and it keeps them from being their best. And that's what just blows my mind, is that people can't get out of that. And I just think that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And I think so many people aren't even aware that they can get out of it. They're so used to being that way that they never look at another possibility. It's like, an ant on a piece of paper. All the ant knows is this, two dimensions essentially. Yeah, okay, it's a short little ant, so it is three dimensions, but all it knows is a piece of paper, and it doesn't realize that you can fold the piece of paper and get from A to B a lot faster. It thinks that you got to, go this linear path, and that's the only way to do it. And people have the same foibles. And in fact, I just reread a book, old book called Acres of Diamonds yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Excellent book. And if people have not read it, go find it. You can find it for free online. And the story is basically all the wealth that you want is already inside you. It's not even in your backyard, it's inside of you. And people don't realize that. It's always somebody else's fault. And it took me many, many years to figure this out. I thank God that I finally did.
Well, we've got a few minutes left before we have to end our call. So I want people to know either the best way to get started on such a path, how you can be reached, if you have a gift for anybody. Just tell us a little bit about how to reach Dorina.
Okay, well, the easiest way to reach me, and luckily I am the only Dorina Lanza on the planet, you can go to dorinalanza.com.
And that's DORINALANZA.
Correct. And my email contact and telephone contact are on the website. So if you want to reach out to me, absolutely. I'm on Facebook, Dorina Lanza, LinkedIn, same, Twitter. I don't use Twitter much. And I also have started a new group on Facebook called Circle of Elite Entrepreneurs. And it's a private group, but if your listeners ask to join, just make a note. I will approve you to come in. And in that group, every couple of months, I do a free 5-day masterclass, 20 minutes each day with an exercise, and to get people on the path. And we start with the archetypes. So if people want to get a taste and join that free program, I don't know when we're going to air, but it's coming up on July 6th, and then it will come again in September, and so on. And you're certainly welcome to come in and take the archetype assessment and begin to go through some of this process.
So that is Circle of Elite Entrepreneurs, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, on Facebook. And if you can't remember the name, send me an email or connect with me on Facebook and make a little note saying that you heard me on Gayle's show, and we'll make sure that you're invited in and can join us.
Fantastic. And ladies, if you want to follow me, my website is spunkyoldbroad.com. My courses are on SOBuniversity.com. And I have a Facebook group, which is the Virtual SOB Club. So you can find that there. It's free and you can join. And I ask you 2 questions. What's your biggest pain in life and what's your biggest joy in life? And it's really interesting to hear what those results are. So if you want to join me or you want to join Dorina, we'd love to have you, both of you. Both of us would love to have you in our group. So Dorina, this has been really fascinating and interesting, and I'm so glad that we connected and we were able to make this happen. And I certainly wish you the very best. I have an idea that you're never going to slow down, just like me, and you're going to make the most of every single minute that you have on this planet. So, listen to what Dorina has to say. In fact, you might want to listen to this conversation more than once because she had some wonderful, wonderful points in there. And I think you need to look at things like your persona and your wealth style and your vision of your marketplace. And I told my story on a Florida speakers event just about 2 weeks ago and found out something about myself, which I had never acknowledged and really didn't know. And that was I don't take no for an answer. And so all the obstacles that I faced in my life and the things that Dorina was talking about, the horrible things that happened to you, I never really processed them as bad. I just thought, okay, let's see, how do I get around this? So I found that was my strength, never taking no and overcoming obstacles. So, Dorina, it was great having you, and I enjoyed listening to our conversation. And hope you get people that go to your website. And thanks so much for being with us.
No, thank you for having me. And let me know when those T-shirts are ready. I want to wear one up here in Palm Beach.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, this is Dr. Gayle, and I wanted you to know I have a whole bunch of other things to offer you. If you go to spunkyoldbroad.com, you will see an array of SOB stuff for sale and all our latest products and additions. If you're interested in getting on TV, I have a brand new course, Get on TV. And if you want to start your own business, you'll want my SOB Guide to Business Success. I know you'll love them all. I guarantee it.